Okay, it's me, Low Power. I'm back. Hey, I just wanted to do a video response. I put one up already, just going over the greatest players of all time. But anyway, I want to do this video response on what I call the great debate, the great center debate. Some people might not think it's a great debate, Olajuwon O'Neal, because hey, Olajuwon defeated O'Neal, so for some people it's an open and shut case. But look, I love Hakeem Olajuwon. Before Shaquille O'Neal came in the league, he was my favorite center. My favorite player was Isaiah Thomas. He was my favorite center. Hakeem Olajuwon, amazing. The best all-around center. As when you look at skills on the offensive side, on the defensive side, I would have to say he's the best all-around. But I take Shaq over Hakeem Olajuwon because what I want to do is take their best versus their best. To me, when Shaq was at his best, is really not that close, because Shaq dominated the league in such a way for those 3 years they won a championship I've never seen before. It took an injury to keep him, and him sitting resting on his laurels basically for his domination to cease. But anyway, he still, even when he came back, he still was dominating. But anyway, he just didn't play defense that fourth year when they went against San Antonio. He decided not to play defense against Tim Duncan. But anyway, those 3 years, Shaq dominated on both sides of the ball, even defensively. Okay, there was a time when he went out from the paint and put stops on people like Dirk Nowitzki, guys who could put the ball on the floor and make big defensive plays and clutch times and all that stuff. But of course, he never was the total defender that Olajuwon was. But he had the paint on lock during those 3 years. Shaq dominated at that time in a way I never seen before. But you may say, well, in Orlando, he was basically the same, had basically the same stats. The difference is this: Shaq during those years garnered more attention from the opposing defense than he ever did, and than any other player ever did, other than probably Michael Jordan or maybe Wilt Chamberlain back in the day. But other than that, they threw defenses threw so much at him and still couldn't stop him. They threw not only double teams, they threw triple teams at him on a regular basis. They really were zoning him up. They just weren't getting called for it. They were playing illegal defenses. So the thing is, the difference is that during this time, Shaq dominated. I don't care that you didn't have a lot of great centers in the league at the time. The attention he got from opposing defenses more than made up for that. So the thing is, when I look at that Shaq and look how he was more determined, more focused, and he knew how to play the game better. He was a smarter player. Then I take that Shaq and compare him against the one that went against Hakeem Olajuwon. That Shaq played very well against Hakeem Olajuwon. He did not outplay Hakeem. Hakeem outplayed him, plain and simple. I have to give that to Hakeem. He outplayed Shaq. There's no doubt about that. But Shaq did very well. The reality is this, that, okay, Hakeem Olajuwon didn't turn the ball over much, and Shaq turned the ball over a lot. So that would be the biggest flaw in Shaq's game during that time. But other than that, he almost played the game perfectly. He was never a great free throw shooter. So his free throws and his turnovers. But other than that, he played almost perfectly. He rebounded well. He blocked shots. He scored efficiently. He passed out the double team efficiently. And to me, to me, this shouldn't really be much of an argument. It really just take a little common sense. And if you actually play basketball on a regular basis, you should be able to, I don't know if people just be watching basketball, but actually play basketball on a regular basis. It's harder to score against a double team than single coverage. Of course, Shaq could not guard Hakeem Olajuwon one-on-one, but Hakeem did not do anything to hinder Shaq one-on-one. Shaq didn't have a problem scoring on Hakeem one-on-one. And to me, I believe he gave Hakeem too much respect. I believe he was playing respectful towards Hakeem rather than trying to take it to his chest. That's my opinion. Some people might say it's excuse. Hey, I watched this guy's whole career, and I see when he has a certain state of mind that he's invincible. Nobody's gonna stop him. So, but anyway, so you got Shaq. People say, well, Shaq never dominated. On the comments, he never dominated these guys, Robinson, Akeem, and Ewing. He dominated Ewing. Only time he didn't, he averaged 28 points a game. Akeem, somebody put that up, and Pat averaged 26. I don't know how true that is. I had to check. The one I seen, Shaq averaged 29 points a game, 29.5 against him, and it usually beat him, and because they seen each other a lot. When Shaq was single covered by Patrick Ewing, he would put 40 or 38 on him. When Shaq was single covered by, now David Robinson was the guy that really, his first 2 years in the league, abused Shaq. The third year, he still won, I think, all the first 6 games they played against each other. But in the third year, Shaq would go at David Robinson. He got better from year 2 to year 3. He actually would put up better stats against David Robinson. But David Robinson got help against Shaq. Shaq usually guarded all these guys by himself. So he didn't dominate these Hall of Famers. So what? Was he supposed to come in his first, second, and third year and dominate these guys and make them look stupid for him to be better than them? That's what he would have had to done. He couldn't have gotten better throughout his career. I mean, anything after his third year, anytime he dominated them after his third year, it doesn't count. That's so silly. I just don't understand. I don't think people are thinking logically when they talking. You know, I guess like Shaq said, nobody loves Goliath. He's a big guy, so people put him down because of that, and these other guys they put up. But these other guys had advantages over them. Some of them were more mobile. If that's what you could do, you take your advantage. Shaq's advantage was he's bigger and stronger, so he used it. That's how you play. That's smart basketball. That's how smart players play. They use their advantage. They don't try to force themselves in the area where they don't have the advantage. And that's what happened with Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaq in these finals. Hakeem, out of his own mouth, said the best way was for him to guard Shaq was to try to stay behind him and get help. Hakeem Olajuwon said it. This is out his own mouth. I'm not making this up. Hakeem Olajuwon said it. Hakeem did not guard him one-on-one, and when he did, Shaq scored on him as easily as he scored on anybody else. So my point is this. If Orlando would have consistently double-teamed Hakeem Olajuwon, I think they still would have lost because the Houston Rockets, the rest of the team was balling. It wasn't just Olajuwon, but he wouldn't have averaged 33 points a game, okay? If Hakeem would have guarded Shaq the whole game one-on-one, Shaq would have averaged 33, 34 points, just like he did against Dikembe Mutombo, who was just as good of a post defender as Hakeem Olajuwon. Not as good as an all-around defender, but in the post, he was better equipped to deal with Shaq, actually. So, I don't really see why people won't give Shaq his credit, want to poo-poo what he's done because he played with Kobe Bryant. The thing is, just think about how dominant Shaq was at that time. For him to need Kobe Bryant tell you something. Don't tell you how bad Shaq is. That tell you how good the teams were that they had to beat. No, the Eastern Conference teams that they faced in the finals weren't that great. But the Trailblazer teams, the Sacramento teams, the San Antonio teams were great. The San Antonio team had the 2 of the best defensive players of all time double teaming Shaquille O'Neal. And they had to do it. So that's the thing. To me, I had to take Shaq because he dominated on a level I've never seen. Hakeem Olajuwon, real close. I believe Shaq at his best would kill Hakeem Olajuwon. I believe if Shaq, just like with Tim Duncan would abuse Shaq at times, but Shaq would shut him down at times by himself. But he would abuse Shaq at times, destroy him at times. When LA started to double team Tim Duncan had problems. He really struggled to do anything against that double team that included Shaquille O'Neal. So with a double team that included Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon wouldn't have dominated. But so that's my point, real simple. Shaq was getting double teamed by Hall of Famers and other guys, but he still did great. Peace.